Hey everybody! While writing my scripts for other theory videos I'm working on, these elven murals kept jumping out and taunting me with their mysteries. The same images are repeated throughout Thedas, but most commonly in the Dales, and I get this crazy feeling that they have so many answers for us just below the surface. I'll show them to you, where I found them, and the interpretations I've had, or heard from others, and let me know what you think they represent. As always, spoilers abound. The first and most telling murals that I can think of come from the alcove in Crestwood that Solus takes a romanced inquisitor to in their last romance scene, and I have seen the same ones repeated in many other locations, such as the Temple of Mythal, the Emerald Graves, the Exalted Plains, and more. The first one I'll look at is this image. My first impression is that it looks like a Templar with the flaming sword heraldry lined in red, possibly indicating red lyrium poisoning or corruption. There seems to be skeletons of elves with pointed ears at its feet. My first thought is that this mural can't possibly be from the time of ancient Arlathan, since Templars wouldn't have been around back then. So does that mean that this image is depicting the exalted march against Mural, which happened way after the fall of Arlathan? However, the surrounding images in this alcove are found in the Temple of Mythal, which would indicate it being from the time of ancient Arlathan. So what's up with the timeline? Is there more to it than what we've been told? The next mural I want to talk about is a clear depiction of war. This painting can be found many times in Crestwood, the Emerald Graves, and the Temple of Mythal, and possibly more locations. There are elves with possible Valislin, indicating that they could be slaves, according to what Solus tells a romanced inquisitor, riding on stags or some other antlered animal that is also lined in red. Now, this usage of red in all these murals could just be to add some color to the paintings, but it's giving me this strong hint of red lyrium corruption. What were they fighting? Another extremely interesting mural, located in the same area of Crestwood, the Temple of Mythal, and other locations, is the image of elves who are also lined in red, marching kind of zombie-like, with a red-lined hollow in their heads. They look kind of like mindless drones. Maybe slaves? Or, to me, this clearly drives that red lyrium corruption home. There's a yellow circle above them. What is this? The sun? An orb? In the Exalted Plains, I found this mural of a large antlered animal, again lined in red, with similar dejected-looking elves with Valislin inside its belly. The elves inside the belly seem to indicate some sort of consuming force against them. Not sure if it's a literal force or a metaphorical force. It possibly could have something to do with the red lyrium corruption as well, but I'm not sure. And though I haven't found it in the game, I have seen images of this similar antlered animal without the elves inside its belly, but I haven't been able to find that one. Let me know if you know where to find it. I found these sad-looking antlered animals in the Exalted Plains, but I'm almost sure I've seen it elsewhere, I just don't recall where. I don't have much to say about them, except again, they're another antlered animal, they're lined in red, they look really sad and forlorn like so many of the other murals we've seen so far. The most interesting one, to me, of this group of murals that appears to show war, sadness, and red lyrium corruption is the one of the dragon. I have found this image in the alcove at Crestwood, in the Emerald Graves, and in the Temple of Mythal multiple times, and I wonder if it can be found in other locations. I see a dragon, possibly leading an army, also covered in red, which again I think may be representative of the red lyrium corruption. We also know that Mythal's animal symbol is that of a dragon, but we also know that the old gods were dragons. Could other elven gods also take the form of a dragon? What could the presence of this corrupted dragon mean? To shift gears, one of the paintings I'm most interested in and curious about, I'm not even sure if it's elven. The style is different from the other paintings we have seen. I've seen it at the back of Blackwall's stable in Skyhold, and also in front of the altar-looking thing at Calenhad's Foothold, but I'm not sure if it's repeated anywhere else. The reason I think it may be elven is simply because of the animal symbolism. I see a bear-looking creature with stars on its muzzle breathing something out. There's also a crescent moon above its head. I can't tell if it's embracing or throttling a white figure with antlers. And, as you'll see, many of these mysterious murals depict antlers. The symbolism reminds me of the elven gods Dirthamen and Gillenane. According to the elven fables found in the codexes around Thedas, Dirthamen, the elven god of mysteries and secrets, most beloved creature is a bear because it didn't tell his secrets. The only reason the figure in white reminds me of Gillenane is because it is pure white with antlers, which is reminiscent of a hala, even though those antlers don't particularly look like hala antlers. And as we know from elven fables, Gillenane is the hala mother because she was transformed into the first hala by Andruil. Now, I was always under the impression that Andruil and Gillenane were lovers, but now this picture's making me wonder, were she and Dirthamen lovers? Or were they enemies? Or were they somehow conspiring together for something? What does this painting even represent? While we're on the topic of antlers, I have shown you many other murals of creatures with antlers. Most of them have been lined in red, possibly indicating red lyrium poisoning. This one, however, is a golden, ungulate-looking creature, maybe a ram? This is one I found in the Temple of Mural toward the very end of the path that the guide takes you on, surrounded by a lot of money and loot. I've also found it in the Exalted Plains, one at the Ancient Baths, and one at the Shrine to Soleil's. Did it have something to do with luxury or something? Why does this one look so special and uncorrupted compared to the others? Here is the last antlered creature that I have found in the Emerald Graves, though I feel like I may have seen it somewhere else also. The art style looks totally different from the ones we've been looking at. To me, it looks like it is some sort of stag, but it has wings, 6 legs, and some crazy eyes. Here's another interesting beast that I'm not sure what to make of. This was found in the Lost Temple of Dirthamen, in a similar art style to the stag I just showed. It looks slightly reptilian to me, kind of like Killer Croc, but others have pointed out that it may also look like a werewolf. But whatever it is, it does look highly anthropomorphized. These strange creatures remind me of a codex found in the Temple of Mural about Gillenane and the giants, beasts, and other creatures that she destroyed in order to obtain godhood. So could this be another one of Gillenane's beasts? Why is it, and the stag we saw before it, important enough to be memorialized in a painting? What role did it have? And what's up with Gillenane? Is she a god we should be worrying about? Again, another theory for another time. The only other interesting painting I have seen of an unknown beast was another in Calenhad's Foothold. The art style here is completely different from the other paintings we have seen, which may indicate it isn't even Elven, especially considering its location. But what is it? Could it also somehow be related? In a similar art style to the Winged Stag and Killer Croc painting, I have found an elven figure painted in both the Emerald Graves, the Lost Temple of Dirthamen, and in the Temple of Mural. In one painting, he's standing proudly, and in another, he's in a battle stance with a sword and shield. But who is he? I've heard many different speculations, ranging from a protector like Abelas, to Elgarnon, to Solus, but we have so little to go on. Could it just be a generic painting of an elven warrior, or is it something more? The last mural I want to show you is one of the ones I'm most interested in. Again, this is in a completely different art style and located in Calenhad's Foothold, so it may not even be elven. To me, I see 2 figures sitting opposite each other with arms crossed in front of them. They both have very different faces. There's what appears to be a red bottle with some kind of fumes in the center. All the red in all the other paintings made me think of red lyrium, and this one does for me as well. But what could it mean? Was red lyrium being used purposefully at one point? Again, another theory for another time. These paintings could mean nothing for all I know, but I thought I'd share with you to see what you all thought, because they've been taunting me for a while. If you have any of your own insights, or any other murals you've seen around Thedas, please share, and please share the screenshots. Thanks!